get the brand new limited edition Pals Holiday Package available at thepalsmerch.com. Hey, what is going on, you guys? My name is Sub-Zero Exabyte and I am coming at you today with a perfect video for the people who always wanted to find more stuff in their game or just wanted a big freaking candy shop to put in their house. Well, as I said, your prayers have been heard, because I am going to build this for you. I am not yet sure how I am going to be able to do this, but I bet that with some help from me, myself and some logic thinking that I would possibly be able to finish this in time to get myself a nice warm bath and cook it. Oh wait, once I am done with this thing, I am able to make like 20 freaking cool videos in this bad boy and still have some room left for whatever else I want to do. But that of course means that I first have to go make this thing, and that is probably going to be the hardest part. Like I said, I would just need some logic thinking to find this thing. Well, that might not be my strong suit, and well, you know, it actually just flat out is not my strong suit, so this might be taking a while to finally complete it. Now we of course have got a lot of these things, but I am going to try them all, and we are starting with this cake baking factory, and let's see how this thing performs. And boom goes the dynamite, and what in the world are those other things? Jesus H. Christ, what was that? Let's check these things out, shall we? Oh good freaking lord, what in the world is that? Well, I could hear some fun going on there. So well, let's just say that we will be following the rules of the NATO, which means that we will not be using any type of amazing fun candy against our enemies. I guess you could call that the arts of war. Not that anyone actually thinks about that when they are trying to destroy one another. But hey, I am not here to fight any political wars. Now we shall be moving right on before we get too much of these things here. But we will be testing the effects of all of these spinners on me. I mean, I love them now, just for educational purposes of course. We are not trying to inflict any harm with these candy tests. Now how do you feel about these candy things, Chip? Yeah right, I love them now as well. Lately I have been wanting to go out and relive a little bit of my youth. You know, just go around and doing some really nostalgic stuff. So that got me thinking, what is really nostalgic and what could I do that is really nostalgic? And you know that you cannot just go and do something nostalgic to make something actually feel nostalgic. So you might know this, but to make something feel nostalgic you just have got to do something, and the feeling will come whenever it is there. So I thought that today I am going to be pursuing that feeling of nostalgia. And I mean, I really love the feeling of nostalgia just because it makes me feel at home, and it gives me a little throwback to my childhood and stuff. So I am just going to go ahead and do whatever it takes to get that nostalgic feeling back into my veins. And the first thing that we are going to be doing has to do with this candy shop right here, because that is what me and my parents used to do when I was younger. So the first thing that I am going to do to find that feeling of nostalgia is just to go ahead and go to this factory here. So something other than the noobs that would make me feel all nostalgic is just to go ahead and play a lot of games. And also we had these hillies which were awesome, and now since Roblox does not really have any kind of those things, we are just going to go ahead and play in this candy factory. So this will be shooting us into a lot of different angles right now, and maybe one or maybe some of them will just give me that authentic feeling of nostalgia. At least that is what I am hoping for right now. Otherwise I am just going to get bamboozled probably, and I will not get that feeling of nostalgia, and I will probably just end up crying in bed all night. Or maybe I will not. It is still a little bit of a surprise for me right now. Who knows? Maybe I will just start crying whenever I get that feeling of nostalgia, because it will give me that feeling of having a little throwback moment, or just an actual feeling of being back into my childhood, which would be amazing to be honest, because I love the time really. Now you might be thinking, well Sub-Zero Exabyte, why do you want to play with candy, or in this case the candy shop, to go ahead and feel nostalgic again? Well, that is actually a pretty long story, but to make it a little short for you guys, I just wanted to make something really cool for you guys, as in a video, and I just wanted this video to kind of hit home, so that you can watch this and it will make you appreciate your childhood and all of that, or just your youth in general, to be honest. And then I was thinking about the things that made me enjoy and love my childhood, and that was mostly just playing around in the summer, having those late nights where you had to sprint back home because the street lights turned on and you should have been home by the time that this happened. And I just wanted you guys to know that you should appreciate all of those things, because once you get older all of that is just going to be gone, and that is not a fun thing at all. But it is a part of growing up, and I personally never liked it. But now of course that does not correlate in with the fact that I wanted to go play with some candy all of a sudden after all of this stuff. And I do love me some sour candy. My teeth hate them though, but I do not, because I love them, and that is great if you ask me. And that is basically just because that is what I used to do when I was a kid, and I used to love it. Or actually, I will just go ahead and tell you the truth. I really did not ever go into a candy shop myself. I am just going to be honest with you guys here. I never went there, but still, the thought of these candy things make me feel really nostalgic, and I will tell you why right now. I used to love to watch Toy Story, like the movies, and you have got 3 movies right now. And you have got some kind of Christmas special if I remember correctly. But I used to love those movies. Maybe they would even get a fidget spinner as a toy character if they made a new Toy Story movie. I would actually really love a new Toy Story movie, to be honest. And honestly, I still love these movies. But lately the weather has been getting better, and it is starting to feel a little colder out. And I just figured that this gave me a nostalgic feeling. And that is what I am going to be pursuing today, because it just felt so amazing. I just love my life. That kind of gives a perspective to things. Sometimes knowing all is not the best thing for a human, especially when you do not know how to process some things that are like really big and revealing. It is something that makes you think, does it not? But well, we are not here to think now, are we? We are here because we want to see me being fat right now. And you know you are not wrong for coming here for just that, because that is basically the only reason why I am here. But then again, you can guess that we are also just here to fool around and not talk about serious topics for a while. So please excuse me if I go too far on some subject, but sometimes it is rather hard for me not to talk about things that I know a lot about. So like I said, please just excuse me for that. I am looking for something that will take out these pigs without dealing too much damage to my wallet, but this did not even do any damage to my credit card. Now that is really good because I am cheap and fat, so I will just have to keep testing and see whatever I can come up with to make something like this. And you may be thinking, well, okay, Sub-Zero Exabyte, we have got that out of the way, but that really does not make any sense to why you want to go ahead and play with these pigs. Well, if you have seen the first Toy Story movie, then you could tell that they go into some diner where you can get pizza, and they have an arcade inside of that pizza store place thing. And that is why toys in general make me feel nostalgic, because that always takes me back to Toy Story. And Toy Story always takes me back to my childhood, and that is just really cool in my opinion. So when you are growing up, you should look for those things. You should go ahead and look for the things that make you feel nostalgic to your childhood. And whenever you feel like that, you can just literally teleport back to your childhood. And that of course all just goes for feelings, right? I mean, you cannot literally teleport back into your childhood when you are watching Toy Story and feel nostalgic, but you can actually make your feelings go back to your childhood. And I cannot really explain the feeling of nostalgia. I just know that it feels really weird from time to time. And I know that I love this feeling because it is just the best thing out there, even though I am fat and these pigs cannot handle me. And I think that nostalgia is something really powerful when you are growing up, because it makes you feel right at home, just like these pigs do for me. It is just weird to think that all of a sudden I got so invested in some sour candy. But these things are great, to be honest. Oh my god, this is so weird. I mean, I used to love to play with these pigs back in the day, and this really just gets me back to that time. Wow, that is actually amazing, you guys. I mean, I have not played with any of these things in like the longest time, but this is just something that takes me right back to those days. And I mean, like, there is just something about this game, or these toys, whatever you want to call them. I mean, it is kind of old when you think about it, but it is still fun. And I feel like whenever I play these slightly older games, I mean, the candy stuff are great, but we all still love gaming, right? So that is something that I feel like to be really special right now. And Chip feels the same way, right? Oh my god, what has happened to me? I guess that I have been eating just a little bit too much of those cakes, because I start looking like a fat bear going into hibernation right now. And that is not what we want, because obesity is not something you should be taking lightly. No pun intended there. So I guess that we will just go to the gym and train it all off before we end up as one big ball. And no one would like that. or at least that is what I think. So if you guys would just follow me, then we can go out and work all of this fat off. That is basically what all the fuzz is about when it comes to these things. Now of course I am better than that. That is why this was just a demonstration of how you would fail in an escape room. Now I do not like to fight at all, but you know, for me these are not all that hard. It is just a normal routine to follow. And of course, you know, like I said a couple of days ago in the video about my life in Minecraft, it is just one of those ways to stay healthy. You know, we all need some sports in our life, and we need some exercise so that we can actually stay healthy. Oh, by the way, have you seen this thing right here? Hey Chip, how is the weather up there? You guys get me? Because he is on my shoulder. Well, like I said, this is Chip and he is my buddy, and he is riding on with us on my shoulder. Now you could basically say that I have got a chip on my shoulder, but you guys already know that this is not true, or actually it is true, because Chip is sitting on my shoulder. But you know, I do not have an actual chip on my shoulder. Are you guys feeling me a little here? At least I hope that you are catching my drift. By the way, it seems like I am stuck in some sort of an Egyptian pyramid or something like that. Some sort of a tomb, I would say. And I am about to raid it, because darn it, look at all of the gold that is just lying here up for grabs. But I think that these escape rooms are rather good for me, mentally and physically, because you know, this is just great to do. I train the mind. So you know, why not find something that is fun and athletic or challenging at the same time? And even though it might be challenging, that is just part of the fun to me. Even though most of the Roblox game modes that are around already have been finished by me. So you know, that is not really that big of a deal for me. But of course that is not all. Because when you do not pay enough attention to the map that you are playing, well then you just luck out and you are rather stuck, you know. Now I am not trying to scare you or anything, but that is just how it is right now. That is just the way life goes. Even though it might be going so easy and stuff, that does not mean that you can just cruise through it like it is nothing and without paying attention, because that will end up biting you in the butt for sure. Now of course I do not want that to happen to me, but sometimes you just cannot do anything about the ways of life these days. So guys, can you help me out here? I am struggling quite a bit actually right now. So what is your take on this thing right here, guys? You think that you can find a way out of this gym? I have never in my life envied a human being who led an easy life. I have envied a great many people who led difficult lives and led them well. That is basically the same when it comes to this fat loss right here. You can just have an easy life and do nothing about it and just stroll through it. But it is the people who are leading the hard lives and make it look easy who you should be looking up to. That is why I like to keep things interesting by making things hard on myself from time to time, like failing on purpose. That is what I do a lot. Also in this video, of course. So right now with my escape room right here, I am struggling a lot. But when you guys are watching this out of the comfort of your home, you will all just be like, well, that guy Sub-Zero there on the screen, well, he really did quite a good job on making everything look easy to die a lot while he was struggling really hard. At least that is what I think that you are all going to be saying. I mean, I cannot know for sure now, can I, people? Nope, that is right, guys. I am catching your drift, my friends. Now still, that does not mean that this is easy for me at all, because I am dying right now because all of this working out. I mean, it would just plain be unfair if you had to watch me do all of this so perfect and swift without a care in the world, and you guys are out there struggling trying to become as great as me in these things. So sometimes I will fail on purpose just to make it look a little less hard. I mean, come on. I would not be able to do all of this without you guys. So if you guys want to be like me, that would be pretty hard. So I have to put in some flaws to myself. I mean, no one is flawless except for me, of course. So you know, maybe that is the reason why I should be doing all of this, just so that you guys can see that having flaws is just a way of life. But then again, I am a Roblox character, so I am not really sure if that also counts for me. But now that the cat is out of the bag, I will just hope that you guys appreciate the fact that I sometimes end up failing on purpose, just so that you guys can see that I am also human, even though I am better than anyone else in these types of things. Just so that you know. But alright, enough talks about me being fat and Toy Story and such, if that even was enough. But that does not matter, because Minecraft is next up in our overhaul game mode deluxe extravaganza. It is a really fun thing today, is it not? I mean, I am having a great old time right here. So I hope that the same thing goes for you guys, because like I said, you guys are the reason why I am here in the first place. And because of you guys, I will someday have that feeling of nostalgia when I am playing Roblox, or just when I am on YouTube in general. But like always, Minecraft is another game that really gets me back to when I first started playing Minecraft. I mean, I already did cover some of the sour candy hype in my Minecraft hands video, and if you have not seen that yet, then I would highly recommend you to go do that because it is just awesome. Now, one thing that I would like to mention though, is that it would be great if there was a Minecraft item that was a sour belt or something like a Sour Patch Kid, or at least a mod, right? That would be pretty awesome, I feel like. So maybe we can do something like that once, but let's keep it at that. I am still going to be eating my cakes.